Do you fear losing control? See, we all have fears. Fears are a natural, healthy part of life. They can keep us safe and out of harm's way. Fears, just like anything else in our life, serve us when it is healthy and balanced and can keep us stuck if it is unbalanced. Fears are not something you just make up. It is a response from our brain and nervous system to keep us safe. Fears are also often intertwined with what we value. For a person who is a task-oriented, extroverted personality type that connects to the world through results, whose primary need is to accomplish their goals while being reliable and dependable, one of their greatest fears is going to be a loss of autonomy. Autonomy is the right to self-government. It includes the need for independence, to make their own decisions without other people dictating how or what they should be. I have a wonderful person in my life that displays this personality type, and as a toddler, she would constantly say, "No, I do it," and it was best just to let her do it. And I also relate to this personality type because it is me. So let's talk more about the values and traits this personality type has and how that shows up as a fear of loss of autonomy. If this is something you would like to go deeper into, we have a personalities course that dives deep into different personality types, along with how to work through conflict while supporting yourself and loved ones. If this is something you would like support with, click the link below and see about scheduling a free 15-minute call with one of our therapists. So when it comes to personality types, we typically have a primary type and a secondary type, and that is what makes up our nature. There's also the influence of nurture, the environment or culture we grew up in. The lens which we view our world through is a combination of our nature and nurture. In full disclosure, this personality type is one of my dominant types, so I completely relate to everything we're going to talk about. I like to call this personality type a closer. They get things done and close the deal, so to speak. They tend to be highly competitive, ambitious, and driven. They gain their self-worth from accomplishment and often possess great confidence. Their confidence can be interpreted as arrogance, though it may not be. They will do whatever it takes to accomplish a goal and tend to be very creative in finding solutions that no one else sees. They absolutely have the perspective that the end justifies the means. So if they don't have the balance of strong morals and character, they can sometimes do questionable things. Closers are decisive, processing thoughts and feelings quickly, making a choice and moving forward. Their word is their bond. They love awards, incentives, and money because these are tangible results of their efforts. They tend to show love by fixing problems and performing tasks for others. They're a fixer. They also tend to be more on the tough love side of things by pushing others to reach their goals. These are all wonderful strengths of the closer. The flip side of those strengths are their weaknesses. They struggle with patience. They're often ready to move on to the next task, more focused on accomplishing the task than the people involved. Their directness is often seen as rude or cold. They may struggle with emotional expression. However, closers often care very much about the people around them, though they often tend to show it through accomplishment and getting things done. And here's the thing. If the people in your life aren't closers too, they don't receive love that way. And so it creates a disconnect and needs not being met. Closers can also think they're the best at everything, and they struggle to delegate tasks, or they have a tendency to jump in and just do it themselves because they think they're the best. With all of this in mind, let's talk about a closer's needs, because it is when their needs are not being met, their fear of a loss of autonomy shows up in a big way. The closer has a need to set goals and take action because they are so task-focused and fulfilled by accomplishment. If a person is preventing them from reaching their goals, they feel a loss of autonomy and likely resentment. Story time! So this is what this looked like for me raising children. I love my children. I genuinely would do anything for them. I don't know if you know this. If you haven't ever raised small children, you can imagine. But everything about their person goes innately against anything that a closer values. The need to set goals and accomplish things in a timely manner. Like, it's completely counterproductive to also raising small children who have their own agenda and their needs, and you can't plan for anything. And the truth is, there was a time in my life that I resented the people in my life, both my children and my spouse, because I viewed them as obstacles to reaching my goal. I would yell at my husband, "Where do I fit in my own life?" And I'm not kidding. I did yell at him a few times. Sometimes I would also cry it. It felt very dark and claustrophobic. If the loss of autonomy is a fear that is very much showing up in your life, you are experiencing a lack of balance in meeting your needs, while also meeting the needs of those around you. The solution isn't to go to the other extreme and say to hell with it and make your needs priority number one to the detriment of everything else in your life. I mean, you can absolutely do that, but that is just creating an imbalance in the other direction. You cannot find happiness and joy in imbalance. While as a closer, we value accomplishment and reaching goals, that isn't the purpose of life. The purpose of life is joy. So how do we balance our gifts, talents, and values with the gifts, talents, and values of those around us to create the joy that is possible, but not guaranteed? A question to ask yourself: is the way fear is showing up in my life serving and supporting me? Or is fear and control keeping me feeling stifled, stuck, or suffocated? This is not a question for anyone to answer but you. Do I like the way fear is influencing me? And if the answer is no, I don't like the way it is showing up in my life, it is not serving me, what can I do about it? If you've enjoyed this video, stick around and keep exploring more. And would you do me a favor? If you felt uplifted by this video, will you share it with a friend or loved one that also needs this support? I appreciate you. And as always, remember to keep shining. We need your light.